Pull that one so that I can respond to it. Okay. All right. There we go. Hi, Ivy. Yeah, no, there's a tea time today. I was just a little bit slow on the up. Oh, my cat's here again. Let me see. I don't know why my computer's being slow. That could be why. Got YouTube running in the background. There. Now it's gone. I don't need that up. Alright. Let me see. Getting messages. Crash the group. There we go. Okay. I always get lots of messages before I go on the podcast or before I do the tea time. It's just like, oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, I already responded to that. Alright, I think I'm all caught up now. I'll make that bigger because my eyes are giving me a hard time today. Now I gotta open the video so I can read the chat. There we go. Awesome. Hi, Annette. I'm so glad you figured it out. Ashes. You want to come over here and say hi? Hi. My Velcro cat. You're just going to flump? Okay, you're just going to flump. Sounds good. We'll just give everybody a couple more minutes to find the live, and then we'll get down to business. I've been busy this morning. I just finished scrapping 14 chapters into book 2 because I wasn't happy with the direction it was going. So, fresh slate, starting over. Come here, you're popular. Cat. Ugh. There we go. Hey, Ashes. Yeah, it's usually either this one or my black and white one. Right? It's either Ashes or Lucifer. He's all fur. Oh, big lovin's. Big lovin's. Weird ass. He's such a weird cat. Alright. We've got a few viewers now. I have 3 cats in it. So I've got this one, and then I've got Lucifer and Schaefer. And the 2 other cats are tuxedos. Right? I know, but you're my favorite, aren't you? Mm-hmm. He's so happy. Yeah, and then my dog is somewhere behind me. Oh no. Oh no, we're starting with the fur. We're starting with the fur. I don't want your fluff. Well, I know it's hot here too. I've got all the all the curtains closed. Ugh. And of course I've got my sweater on like always because of my rose pin. Alright, so I'm just going to pull up my notes for today. Then I'm going to yeet the cat off the desk. Because otherwise I'm going to have a face full of fur. I love you. Well, you get to go be a cat, okay? Love you. Goodbye. Alright. Now I'm going to have 20 minutes of picking fur out of my keyboard. Oh. There is hair floating around now. Alright. So, we're going to go over the things that I've been asked this week. And we're going to do it over a cup. So whatever is in your cup is fine. We're not prejudiced against beverages on this live. Alright, so welcome in. Pour yourself something to drink and settle. This has been one of the hardest weeks we have had since all of this started. So before any of the numbers talk, I'm glad that you are here. Take what is useful and let the rest float on by. There are 2,440 of us now. On Tuesday, the day the payments were supposed to land, this room had more people in it at once than any day since it opened. And nobody organized that. So you just came and found each other, which is amazing. And if this week has sat heavy on your heart, please hear me. You are not carrying it alone. If the worry ever feels like too much, you can call or text 988 anytime, day or night, or reach the Alberta Mental Health Helpline at 1-877-303-2642. There is no shame in reaching for it, and we look after each other here. Okay, I can't see the chat on my phone. I wish I could. Hi, Lori Lee. I got my delivery. I got it. And I think I got another one too from somebody in the group. More mailers, which is awesome. And just to show you guys the new mailers that I ordered and I'm putting together. They are pink, so you'll know it's from here. And it's got our my little labels that I made and printed off myself. So the Alberta Disability System Breakdown. And I have a P.O. box now, and I'll be releasing the P.O. box address here shortly on the... I know, aren't they, Ivy? They're adorable. And it'll save me some money because I've been using dollar store envelopes to send out the rose pins. And then, of course, I have to use packing tape to reinforce the envelope. So now I have plastic mailers, and hopefully I won't be going through tape like crazy. Hopefully. So, yeah, I think this will be a smarter choice anyways. I don't like the idea of the plastic because I'm a little bit more environmental, conscious, but it's got to be better than using an envelope and a whole whack of tape. So here's hoping that works out. And yes, I'm sorry for your loss, Annette. It's very, very hard to lose our animals. It really is. Now, I can't wait to start sending out rose pins with this. And there are a lot of roses that are going to be put together and made here. Let me show you my container. So these are all roses that are waiting to be made into pins. So I have my project for the weekend. Look at them all. I think there's about 450 in this little container. So we're not running out of roses. And we still have a whole bunch in the box. So if you want some, message me your address and how many you'd like, and I'll send them out with the next batch, which is, I think I said the 20th of next month. Oh, absolutely. But between publishing my first book, working on my second, and doing everything for the campaign, there's never a dull moment. Alright, so back to the notes. Alright, so we're going to start this off with a correction because it's the one that matters most this weekend. So I gave out a wrong emergency number earlier this week, and I told people to call the 1-877-644-9992 number if they had no money and no food. That is the Alberta Supports Contact Center. It is a fine number for most things, and it runs 7:30 to 10 p.m., Monday to Friday, and closes on statutory holidays. So Monday is Heritage Day, and that line is down until Tuesday. So the number that is open every hour of every day, holidays included, is the Income Support Contact Center at 1-866-644-5135. In the Edmonton area, it's 780-644-5135. And I'll post those after the live in the comments above the video, because I always put our videos up on YouTube so that they don't disappear after a month. So outside of regular business hours, that line assesses these over the phone. So food, transportation, temporary shelter, medication, and medical supplies. Rent and utilities are not on that list and go through your own office, which is closed until Tuesday. So it does not solve everything, and I will not pretend that it does. But if the problem is groceries or getting somewhere, it is the right door, and it is open right now. So you can pre-apply at emergencybenefits.alberta.ca, then phone, and food benefits go out by e-transfer. You can dial 211 for food banks and hampers, and you do not have to be on income support to call. The Minister's office put in writing on July 27th that any Albertan unable to meet their basic needs can use that line. So that's a big one, and that's that 211 number. So you write the number down somewhere that is not your phone, just so that you have it externally. Because a lot of us, out of sight, out of mind, right, if we don't have it in front of us. So paste it to the fridge, do whatever you need to, just so that you have that number if you ever need it. And there's no shame in calling it for help. All right. Making sure that we're good for comments. I haven't seen Gavin pop his head in yet. He must be still in bed. He's probably not sleeping well from all of those fans in his apartment because of the flood. That was an interesting podcast. Hello again, Mr. Floof. All right. So we're going to go on to regarding the payment failure and what the government has said about it. So if your money did not arrive on Tuesday or arrived wrong, you did not cause it and you are not confused. The province confirmed this week that a new payment processing software rollout sent out incorrect August amounts. So some people received too much, some too little, some nothing. And a ministry press security told CBC that roughly 2% of Asian ADAP recipients were affected, against a caseload of almost 80,000. That is somewhere near 1,600 people, which is, to my arithmetic, their figure rather than their failure rather than anything else. So, yeah, 1,600 people out of 80,000. That's nuts. So definitely a lot of people seeing errors. Like even mine, there was an error. I didn't get my kids' school amounts that I usually get every year. That was on a separate deposit. Weird. So yeah, if you noticed that there was an issue with your pay, they are only looking at one specific error on their system. So don't wait for it to be fixed. You need to email in, and I have email drafts ready on the website in case you guys want to do that route, just to bring some attention to your file. There's no harm in it, and it makes sure that you get your money. So I put down the email letters link into the chat here, and all that they are is you can open them directly into your email and just fill in the blanks, and that's it. Everything else is populated. So I try to make it as easy as I can for people. I'm hoping that September's payment comes out properly, but again, we'll see. This isn't the first time that payments have been interrupted or there's been errors with them under this government. I'm sure everybody remembers when they changed our payment dates. Same government. So I kind of had a feeling that this was coming, and I hate being right. I really, really do. All right. So the minister acknowledged in a statement on Wednesday that notices went up on the ADAP and disability income assistance pages saying outstanding August payments would be issued on July 29th by end of day. Then yesterday in Red Deer, the Red Deer Advocate, the same press secretary said the issue has been resolved and that any payment issues were corrected in full prior to the end of day July 29th. So when I loaded those 3 government pages directly last night, the notice was not showing on any of them. Now, the only other thing that I want to bring up regarding the payment issue is that they're looking for a specific glitch, and only the files that are within that very narrow door are the ones that are being flagged and corrected. Now, there was somebody that had called in from our group and said that they called and talked to an ADAP representative, and they said that the recipient's file had been put on hold. Now, that is another error within their system that is being seen. So if you didn't get your money, it's probably because your account is on hold with no note saying why. So always a good idea to message and find out where your money's at, because they might have more glitches that we're not aware of currently. All right, so like I said on the podcast, join the PTA, and that's the Protect Thine Ass. Okay? You want to protect yourself as much as possible and document as much as you can. And don't wait, because they're not going to be able to catch anything if we just sit silently in the background waiting for them to fix their errors. And 80,000 files is a lot to go through. All right? So just to be on the safe side, I'd like to see everybody advocate for themselves on this one. All right? So in the group last night, there were some members that still had nothing. One was told on the phone yesterday that her payment will not arrive until Wednesday or Thursday next week. One has had nothing since June and found out after an hour on hold that a document was missing. One got hers released only because she called and pushed. So again, best to be the noisy wheel on this one. All right. So I'm not saying anyone is lying. I'm saying that the government's public position is that it was fixed on July 29th, and our own record says otherwise for at least some people. Hello. What you need? My middle son just came down. 2 seconds. Hello, baby. What? What's up? Are you hungry? You want popcorn? Go get popcorn. Yeah, you love to get popcorn. Go get your popcorn. Let's go and get popcorn. We're good. All right. So, if your August payment is still wrong or missing, message me. Not to complain, to be counted. So right now, the only number in public is theirs. And ask in writing whether your payment was affected by the knowledged or the known technical issue, the date it was or will be issued, and the reason for any delay. Section 21 of the regulation says that where a director determines a client was underpaid, the director must pay the outstanding amount, not may, must. Okay, so we've got that on our side. The chat's quiet today. Oh my goodness. All right. So why your statement looks different, and it is not only the glitch. So two real changes started with the August benefit period, which is the payment released on July 28th. Both are on the government's own ADAP page. One, where two adults in a household both receive AISH or ADAP, each partner now receives 88% of the maximum individual benefit. That is in Section 8.4 of the regulation. They say it reflects shared household expenses. Okay? And I know that we've covered that on the podcast, and I can cover it here. You just have to ask, and I'll get the materials ready to go for the next one. Two, child benefit rates were recalibrated to $300 for the first child, $117 for the second, $88 for the third, and $59 for the fourth, and $30 for each additional child. So they say this raises child benefits for roughly 7,000 families. So before you decide whose fault a smaller number is, work out which of these three things it is. So I'm not going to work out your personal amount, and I would gently ask you not to let anyone in a comment section do it either. Too many people were handed a confident wrong figure by someone kind this week. Ask your office in writing what rate was applied and what came off of it. All right. And we went over the calculator yesterday, too, about how that works. So I guess I can go over it very, very briefly right now. So how the calculator on the ADAP and AISH website works now for calculating what your benefit amount will be, it does not calculate the deductions. So whether you have a CPP deduction, a CPPD deduction, or the Canada Disability Benefit, those do not appear on the calculator at all. They are going by base benefit only. So if you are getting the CPP, CPPD, or having the Canadian Disability Benefit clawed back, those don't appear in the calculations at all. So take their calculation with a grain of salt. All right. Let's check the chat just to make sure I keep on getting messages. Scroll up. What? Okay, I gotcha. Sorry. I'll look at it really quick when I'm finished the the live. Oh, I agree. It is dumb, Annette. It really is. But there's so many different calculations for everybody that, you know, they're not including the major components of how they would distinguish what we get. All right. So regarding money for school that nobody tells you about. So it came off a member's deposit stub, and I spent 2 days looking for it in public without success. So if you have children in school and you meet the criteria for personal benefits, there is an additional amount for school expenses. The stub prints the schedule by your child's age as of September 1st. So $63 per child age 5. $121 per child aged 6 to 11, and $208 per child aged 12 to 17. All right, so it appears to arrive on its own rather than being something you apply for, and the amounts do not seem to be published anywhere a person could find it. The government's page on what you get says only that some costs may be covered for a child's education. The figures reach you on paper after the money has already moved. So check your statement if you have school-age children and you meet the criteria and nothing came, put that in writing before September. Just so that you can make sure that you get that that little bit to help you with school supplies and back-to-school planning. All right? So very important there. Okay. I keep on going back and forth from the chat to the notes because I don't want to miss anything. All right, so the Canada Disability Benefit is not a flat $200. Yep, absolutely, Annette. You can message me anytime, and I will help figure out whatever it is that needs figuring. All right. So the Canada Disability Benefit is not a flat $200, and I have said that it was. A new federal benefit year began with the July 16th payment And the maximum for July 2026 through June 2027 is $204.20 a month, and that's for the Canada Disability Benefit. Now, it's not the same for everybody across the board, that we knew, but a lot of times it's just easier to give the base amount and then everybody kind of corrects it as it goes. All right, so where that number came from matters. A member sent me her deposit statement, and the program message printed on it by the Government of Alberta says that effective July 2026, the maximum monthly Canada Disability Benefit has been increased to $204.20. So Alberta's own paperwork in our hands before anyone told us. So here is what has been confusing people. The federal page telling you how much you could receive still displays the old $200 figure. If you have seen two numbers and assumed you were losing your mind, you were reading two real pages that disagree. So you're not nuts. All right? And a maximum is a maximum. The benefit is income tested, and July is when it starts being calculated off your 2025 return rather than your 2024 one. A member's stub this week showed a deduction of $93.08, so a smaller amount is not automatically a mistake. On the Alberta side, it is counted as income under Schedule 1, Section 11E of the regulation. I have described it as a flat $200 deduction in the past because that's what AISH ended up announcing, that they were going to do the $200 clawback regardless. And now it's not as tidy as it was because they actually have to correct that. So, and it's not me that has to correct it, it's them. It's our AISH and ADAP programs that have to correct the deduction. So on the website, again, there is a form that exists for specifically correcting what you are losing from the CDB. Let me just pull it up here so I can put it in the, here it is, put it in the chat. Because I have everything on the website. Oh my goodness. Alright. So, it doesn't want to let me hit the button. There we go. So, the CDB deduction correction letter, version 2, is live on the website. So if you are getting less from the federal government than what ADAP is clawing back, that needs to be corrected. Don't let it sit. Don't let it go on. You are entitled to that money back because it is an underpayment of your benefit. All right. Now there are two different two different paths that people are on right now regarding the CDB and the DTC, and the disability tax credit is the one that you need to apply for before you apply for the Canada Disability Benefit. So, if you applied for the disability tax credit and you were denied, they should not be clawing back the CDC or the CDB at all. So you are entitled to having all of that money given back to you because it was wrong. They shouldn't have taken it off of your check. So send them the correction letter. You can pull up your banking information to show that you have never gotten that deposit. Send them the letter saying that you were denied for the disability tax credit, because without the tax credit you can't apply for the benefit. So you are entitled to that $200, and it does work because the host of our podcast put in his request form for it to be corrected because he didn't get the DTC, and he is no longer being clawed back. So do that. If you are still applying or in the process of applying for the disability tax credit or for the Canada Disability Benefit, don't jump the gun to have them reimburse you for everything that they've already clawed back. Wait until that letter lands and you get your back payment. Figure out, with me, I can help you, what or if there is an amount that the ADAP program owes you back, because you only get back paid to a certain amount of time, and it's different for everybody. The amount is different for everybody. So if you have had that clawback happening since April, and let's say you get approved next month, all of those payments that you've already had clawed back, you don't have to pay a second time. All right. I have somebody that wants to join the video. What? I didn't hit it on time. Wait. It's giving me a thing. Let me grab my headset. 2 seconds. I've never had somebody want to join. Hello, Kat.
Manufacturers, retailers, well, consumer overseas. Whoops.
Hello.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry.
I didn't know I was joining like in the chat. I just
Oh,
wanted
no worries.
Yeah, I was just trying to, it said, see if you could join. I've never done this before, so forgive me.
No worries. I'll go back to it. Thanks.
Okay, I'm out.
There we go. That's awesome. I didn't know that we could do that either. That's great. That's such a good idea. So people can get into the live and join. That's awesome. I love it. All right. No worries, Mandy. That was awesome. All right. So regarding the CDB, if you've applied for it already and you're waiting to hear back and the clawback is still happening, let it happen. I know that it's really tight for everybody right now regarding that clawback, especially if you have nothing giving it back. But when you get, if you get approved, right, they'll give you a certain amount of money. It varies person to person. That will cover what's been clawed back up until that point. And if you don't get approved, you get denied, then you go after ADAP for that money back because it was wrongly deducted. All right, so either way, you get your money back. It's just going to be a little bit tight until you get either an approval or a denial based on your DTC or your CDB. All right. All right. So if you need any more clarification regarding that, reach out to me on the page, message me, whatever, and I can we'll talk it through. All right, but that's as clear as I can make it at the moment. All right. Where is it here? So I'm just going to go back to my notes. So here's what has been confusing people. The federal page telling you how much you could receive still displays the old $200 figure. If you have seen two numbers, that's what's happening. So 2 pages that disagree. Where is it here? I think I finished that section, to be honest, because now I'm going to go back through it, and I don't want to do that. Alberta remains the only province or territory reducing the provincial disability or the federal or the provincial disability benefit because of the federal one. There you go. So we are the only province in Canada that's doing that right now. You know, it really sucks to be us. And one small thing off the same stub that I ended up seeing, they're reporting reminder lists e-transfers and as an example of income to report alongside CPP, the Canada Disability Benefit, employment insurance, and student funding. A lot of us move small amounts between family that way, and it's worth knowing it is on their list. All right. A few years ago, I was doing a lot of micro loans with my grandmother, and I would pay her back through e-transfer. So nothing was ever really flagged. It was just that they asked what it was about, and I let them know that it was micro loans to keep me afloat month to month, and that I paid, you know, her back that way, and they were fine with that. So it's okay. It's not something that they're gonna, you know, ream me out about. It's just that they will ask a question, and it's okay. So. A new federal deadline, September 8th. All right, this one is not Alberta's, and it is coming fast. So from September 8th, 2026, starting from September 8th of this year, the Canada Revenue Agency, or CRA, will no longer accept versions of Form T2201, and that is the disability tax credit form. All right, so the disability tax credit certificate that are dated before 2023. That is on the canada.ca website. If you submit an old form after that date and you start over, and processing runs around 4 months. All right. So there's a new form that's going to be coming out for the DTC, and you're going to have to fill out the new one, not the old one. All right, and I don't want to see anybody end up needing to redo their application, because that gets very expensive, especially considering we have to pay for that one to be filled out. All right. Also, since July 14th, you can no longer use the general submit documents feature in your CRA account for a new DTC application unless CRA has specifically asked you for information. All right. So if you have a blank T2201 in a drawer or a half-finished one waiting on a doctor, throw it out and download a fresh copy. The DTC is the gateway to Canadian Disability Benefit, so this reaches further than it looks. I also want to point out that I've had some people come to me through the group and from other groups where they DM me and they say, well, I'm not going to apply for it. Now, I laugh and I kind of chuckle and shake my head, because we are expected to apply for any benefit that we are entitled to, or that we may be, what is the word? I want to say entitled again. That we may be approved for. So it's not a matter of, I'm not going to, I'm not going to apply for it. They're going to still push for you to apply for it. We're already seeing the CDB being clawed back regardless of if we have an active DTC or Canadian Disability Benefit from the federal government. So I know that it's really hard to want to comply to a lot of what's going on right now, and I totally see the want to do the leg pull, right? Like the knee jerk reaction that I don't want to do it, right? It's only going to hurt you. Okay, if you need help filling out any of the forms for anything, you know where to reach out. All right, and we'll get it done. And that includes all of the new forms for the reapplication. All right, so there's nothing to fear from the pieces of paper. I promise. If you can't understand it, reach out. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. All right. So nurse practitioners can complete the medical report for the DTC. Here's the proof of that. So several of you have been turned away at a front desk by someone who said the nurse is not allowed to fill out AISH forms. They are working from the old rules, and they are not being difficult on purpose. All right, so the government's own publication, Your Guide to Disability Income Assistance, updated July 2026, says the health professionals who can complete the DIA medical report include physicians and nurse practitioners. So you can search that title on open.alberta.ca, print the page and take it with you. A receptionist who will not take your word for it will usually take the government's. All right? So again, we have the grounds to push back, and don't be afraid to. Regarding the covered assessment, we finally have an answer to it. For weeks, I've been telling people to ask about repayment and get it in writing, because I could not tell you the answer. Now I can, at least in part. All right, so a member's son received an email from a named supervisor at an AISH office stating out the policy. As of April 1st, 2012, medical professionals are paid $67 to complete the AISH medical report. And the program also pays the business cost program fee, currently at $3.59 per unit, up to two units. So not much. So the report fee goes to your doctor from the program. There is nothing in that policy about you repaying it, which is a bonus. Hang on, I got it. Stat. So I didn't need to do this for CPPD if I already am on it. Where is it here? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So regarding the filling out the form, you can take that form to all of your specialists and they can fill it out. Or at least a section of it, right? Do I need to do this with the CPPD if I'm already on it? So if you were told to apply for the CPPD to see if you can get approved or denied for it, you do still need to apply. just because after however long, ADAP will decide to temporarily hold your funds until you comply. I ran into that when I first applied to AISH many years ago. So, and there's no harm in applying for the CPPD. What are they going to do? Say yes or no? Your amount's not going to go down based on your CPPD. You're still going to make that base amount. Because CPPD or CPP or whomever will put in their amount and then ADAP will top it up. So again, it's just more pockets, giving or more money coming out of multiple pockets to essentially pay you one check. Now that's the best way that I can think of describing it. All right. So what is still open in the last line of the same email, additional fees may be charged for comprehensive medical exams under the Alberta Healthcare Medical Price List 03.04A. Recommend people do because that's etc. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to apply for as many benefit programs or income programs as you can, even if they come back with a no. Exactly. But they would happily take that 99 cents and deduct it from your monthly benefit, right, Ivy? That's how petty these people are. It's just ridiculous. All right. So that price list is 03.01 or 04A. So the report is covered at a set rate and a thorough examination may be billed separately. That's true. It does help your income tax. All right. So before your appointment, ask your doctor in writing whether fees under the 03.04A are paid by the program or billed to you. Whether any portion is repayable and whether the doctor bills the program directly or you pay and claim it back. That last one matters on your incomes. And then again, print the policy wording and hand it to the reception when you check in, not to the doctor. The front desk decides what gets billed to whom, and many offices do not know the program pays for this at all. Oh yeah, no, they can be pretty petty. They can be pretty petty about where money's coming and how much they get to, not pay out, even if it's, 3 cents. It's just ridiculous. It really is. It's just nuts. All right. You have to be on my desk. My goodness, he's so warm and floofy. It's like, I'm sweating all down the right. All right. So the health benefits, prescriptions, and the new card. So several people hit trouble at counters this week. One member's optometrist was told by the insurer that pre-authorizations are having issues generally, not that anything was wrong with their file. Another found medications covered last month coming back uncovered this month with no notice. These are individual reports, and I'm not going to turn them into a claim about what the program has done. But if you are turned away this week, the useful question is not that it is wrong or what is wrong with my coverage. It is whether the office has checked with the insurer rather than assuming you are not covered. Now, there is one highlight that I'd like to point at regarding our new cards. Now, there is a section letter ID on our new benefit card. A is for ADAP. X is for AISH. So if you are going to your regular pharmacy or your regular optometrist, or you are going to somewhere where you pay or have to produce that card, make sure that they are putting the right letter into that request, because that's where I think a lot of this is happening. We've had the same number for years, but now there is a distinct letter attached to it. So ADAP program, X, H, and a lot of our numbers that are on file still have the X on it because that was the only program that was in the province. Yeah. Mandy, regarding your $200 clawback, my amount changed from being $200 to now I think it's like 160 something. I sent in my CDB clawback correction letter already, letting them know, and a copy of my new determination letter saying that my amount had been lowered. Do that, they owe you that $2 back. And they do. They owe it to you because that is a reduced benefit. And they're clawing it back against a number that is incorrect. So make sure that you correct them. Even if it's just $2 and you think you're okay with eating the $2, that's up to you. But I'm very adamant that people make sure that the correction is there because they need to be held accountable for even that $2 that is being removed from you inappropriately. All right? I don't want to see anybody lose any more money than they absolutely have to. Yeah, a lot of pharmacies go by file number, but that X ends up coming into play, or the X or the A comes into play during billing. And if that billing ends up not, going the way that it's supposed to, because now there's two distinct programs, that's where we're going to end up running into the problem. So, PTA, join the PTA. Yeah. Awesome, Ivy. Awesome. Hi, Sam. All right. Yeah, exactly. You're entitled to your money, Mandy. If they're cutting you, or if they're ripping you off $2, then they need to fucking fix that. And they do. They need to fix it. They've taken enough from us. I'm still waiting for Gavin to show up in the chat. All right. So before you pay out of pocket, ask whether you can be reimbursed. So I have not been able to confirm that you can, and I would rather say that plainly than let anyone hand over money on my say-so. So if a drug or service is not covered or is denied, there is a health benefit exemption process you can ask your worker about. On the new card, members have told me two different things about the letter printed on it. So that, yeah. One, it identifies your program, and one, it has to be entered differently than it prints. So the A, again, is for ADAP. The X is for H. All right. So if you've used your new card at a pharmacy or an optometrist, yeah, that's how you verify what program you're on, because a lot of people are still not sure where they landed. No, I'm going to pull my card here for a second. So because of how they have our cards situated and designed right now, jump that back in. Here we go. Get going. Have my little organizer, and I pulled the tag out. All right. So it says it gives us, it puts our name on it, what group we belong to, and then what section of the program we're on. So again, section A or section X. Okay. H or A is for ADAP, X is for H. So I know that a lot of people are confused about that. Yeah, absolutely. You make sure that you find out if you're being charged, because they promised that they'd cover this stuff. So the only thing that I haven't been able to confirm yet is we're supposed to be doing a what is it called, a psychosocial something assessment through ADAP. Now I don't know if that's the assessment that they're talking about, because they said that they would cover one free assessment. So I don't know if that's what they class as what's covered under the assessment under ADAP, or if it's going to your doctor. And nobody wants to answer my question when I call Ish ADAP. Go figure. Maybe it's because they know I'm recording. Yeah, nope. Yeah, gotcha. About your ACE reapplication. But I don't know what's all being covered, so I'll always make sure that you ask. And I know that you're going to, Ivy, which is awesome. Yeah. And nobody ever wants to answer my questions when I phone ACE or ADAP. It's like they want to get off the phone as quickly as possible. I wonder why. All right. Yeah, exactly. Well, we need a lot more people like your pharmacist, Ivy, and we really do. And I know that there's a lot of doctors and a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists out there that are like, absolutely not, we're not doing this. So, people need to start getting louder and start digging their heels in because we need all the help that we can get. All right. Regarding employment service calls and emails sent the same day. So, a member did this within an hour of her call and has let me share the method with her name off of it. It is the most useful 5 minutes available to any of us. So after any call about employment supports, put in writing what barriers you told them about, ask them to confirm those barriers have been recorded on your file, and ask what supports exist for each one, and ask that a copy of your email be placed on your file. I think they do. All right. So why this matters. Section 15.4 of the regulation lets a director refuse, suspend, vary, or discontinue an ADAP benefit if, in the director's opinion, a client refused or neglected to participate in an employment support or reduced or terminated reasonable employment. Note the words may and in the director's opinion. It turns on how your participation is written down. So phone calls leave a record you cannot see, and their notes are theirs, or their notes are theirs. Your email is yours, and it has a date on it. Okay, so again, for PTA, one thing on your side. Okay, so the minister put in writing this week that where a client is not taking part in employment supports, the program will work with them to understand and address barriers before any compliance measures are considered. So barriers first. Much easier to lean on when your barriers are actually written down. Okay, and if an appointment turns up that you did not agree to, do not simply not attend. Silence is what gets written up as refusing. Go and document it afterwards or write beforehand explaining the barrier and asking for an alternative. And that's okay. If I was to get a phone call first thing Tuesday morning saying, hey, you have an appointment over here, there's no way that that's going to happen. A last minute notice like that does not work for me. And it doesn't. I need to make sure that I have childcare in place. I have to make sure that I have budgeted for Ubers. I have everything has to be planned in advance. So, and that is a barrier. That's not a refusal, right? Now, I know that everybody thinks that I talk a lot about my website, because I do. Okay, there is a barrier form that is already ready to go. Where is it here? The ADAP barriers notice form. I'm going to post it in the chat because I can. There you go. All right, you can get a jump on it, write down whatever you can in that form and email it to ADAP. The email addresses that we have been using for decades still work to be able to update your file. So write what you need to and send it in. At least there they have notice and you have the send receipt saying when it was sent. So they can't go, oh, I don't know. I never knew that you had barriers. Really? Because I sent it on this date. Try again. Okay? Not refusal. You need to be acknowledged. All right? So there are a lot of useful things on the website. No, I know. I don't. Why couldn't they leave well enough alone? Yep, exactly. and the ACE program is not the program that we remember, because they changed that too. Exactly. Better to cover our own butts. Exactly. And we are not being difficult. We are a disabled class of individual, and we deserve, not that we are entitled to, we deserve respect and understanding when it comes to our own individual needs and accommodations. So it is not us being difficult asking for the bare minimum. And it's not. So don't be afraid to ask if you need help with wording. I'm here. All right, message me anytime. On the earnings numbers and something that quietly went public, okay? We have been asking what you are allowed to earn, and I have been slower than you deserve. The figures circulating are in a table on the government's ADAP page, but I could not find them written into regulation, and I do not like publishing a number I cannot point to in law. Exactly, we matter, we're human. The useful development is that the DIA policy manual, the document the minister named as the source for those figures, is now publicly readable at manuals.alberta.ca. It no longer has to be requested. I am reading it. When I can show you where those numbers live and what governs them, you will get the whole thing with the page reference and not before. So once I break that down into plain language, I'll be posting it to the website and to the group, and everybody can basically follow along. All right. And then something that happened on Thursday that matters. And we covered this yesterday on the podcast, but for some of you, 4 hours listening to Gavin and I babble is a little bit much. So I'll just recap it very quickly here. So the Supreme Court of Canada decided a case called Democracy Watch versus Canada. 9 judges, unanimous, the Chief Justice writing, okay? So they struck down a provision of a federal statute that barred courts from reviewing an official's findings. The holding is that examining the legality of a government decision is the court's constitutional job, and a legislature cannot take that away. So UCP basically got their hand slapped by the federal government. But I know I'm kind of jumping the gun on that, but that's what it feels like. All right? So the line worth carrying. Under the rule of law, all public powers must be legal, and all legal powers have limits. Ooh. Okay? An unlimited power is not a legal power. So why it reaches us, okay? Bill 12 says the move to ADAP cannot be appealed, and the medical review panel's medical decision is final. This ruling does not strike either of those, and I want to be exact about why. So closing a tribunal door is not the same as closing a courthouse door. What the court has said is that the second one cannot be closed, meaning the courthouse door cannot be closed. So the lawyer who argued the case says it applies to all government bodies everywhere in Canada, including provincial ministers and civil servants, and that no law can shield them from court oversight. Well, that's going to piss the entire UCP caucus off, isn't it? All right. Where is it here? The limit worth naming, okay? Judicial review is not an appeal. A court does not redecide your file, and it looks at whether the decision was made lawfully. It costs money, has tight deadlines, and realistically needs a lawyer. A right body here can afford to use, or a right body, or a right nobody here can afford to use, is a right on paper. There you go. But for months we have been told the door was shut and there was nothing to be done. That was wrong, and now there is a unanimous Supreme Court saying so in language an Alberta judge will have to read. It goes to a public interest law clinic this week, and whatever comes back, you will get it with the source attached. Hey, no fighting, please. Munchie, no fighting, please. No. No. No, 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 no. Okay, I have to pull that up on my computer. It's bigger. All right. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, our government definitely deserves more than a slap in it. I agree. What about letters directly from family physicians and specialists? Regarding letters from anybody within your healthcare team, I would definitely be getting any letter or confirmation of any disability or illness or barrier regarding what's going on for you. It just makes it a lot stronger of a case. No worries. Welcome, Barb. What's the matter with you? Who are you fighting with? Well, leave your siblings alone. Go play your Switch. No. No. I'll get the lizard button. Lizard button. Get out of there. Get out of my room. Come on. There's nothing down there for you. Come on. Stay out of my room. You can't go into the crawl space. I have a chain on it now, you little turd. Yeah. Captain Brat. Oh yeah, I guess that that would make sense that there's no notifications on Facebook. I hadn't thought of that, Ivy. Munchie, stop! Oh my goodness, he's having a freak out. Hello. Oh, big stretch for the cat. All right. Now he's trying to get in their rooms. I don't know what he's after. He's after something. He's going to start pissing everybody off. So I'm going to have to hurry up and wrap this up. All right. So a rose for the ones we carry. So before I let you go, I want to tell you about these again. Grab one out of the box. Okay. Our roses. Okay. Because there are hundreds of you here now who were not with us in June. The pink ribbon rose is our remembrance. It is for the ones who fell without support, the people in our community who did not make it through, and it says the thing the system never did. Your story mattered, your life mattered, and we carry you with us. When you wear one, it does two things at once. It holds someone we lost, and it tells the living that they are not alone, because someone across a room wearing the same rose is someone who understands. Wear it on a coat, a bag, a work lanyard, wear it to an appointment, leave a few at your MLA's office if you like. That is a beautiful thing to do. I'll get to that. If you would like one, message me your address and how many, up to 5. There is no charge, not now, not ever. And I am not asking you for anything. I make and mail them myself, one set of hands, so they go out as fast as they go. If you are one of those stubborn souls who cannot bear to take a thing for nothing, my friend William handles donations and every cent goes to making more roses. No expectation and no pressure at all. And if you would rather not, then wear yours where it will be seen and tell somebody why you wear it. That gives back just as much. Now, one thing that I never have mentioned, every rose pin that leaves my door comes with our 2-sided business card, so that people within the community that are receiving rose pins, if they meet somebody that is also struggling or somebody else that is lost, a doctor, a social worker, or somebody that doesn't know what is going on, you can hand this to them and they can find the group and they can find the help and the information that they need. So I've kind of put recruiting on the group. But it would be a lot, it would mean more coming from somebody that you know rather than a stranger or just a random card left on a bus. So do what you can, and we reach more people that way, which is also important. So before you go this week, a lot of people found out the hard way that a system can fail and still expect you to be polite about it on the phone. Hey, can we not, please, you guys? Oh my goodness, I'm going to be dealing with them after this. Oh, if that was you and you are sitting there feeling small about it, the failure was theirs and it is on their own website in their own words. So look at what came out of this room in the last 7 days. A deposit statement that taught us a school benefit exists, an email that proved the medical report is paid for, a policy manual read on a Friday night by someone who found a contradiction in it, a 3-hour assessment questioned before it happened, and none of that came from me. It came from you, handing each other what you found. That is the tea for today. If your head is full, you do not have to hold all of it. Pick the one piece that is yours and let me carry the rest until you need it. Message me anytime for a form, for the wording, or just to talk. Drink your water, rest those shoulders, and be gentle with yourself this long weekend. In Gavin's words on the podcast at the end, courage and with love. We'll see you next time.
Alberta! Isn't listening! Ontario! Can you hear us? Canada! Can you hear us? Canada! Can you hear us screaming? Hey! We are buried under rent. We are rationing our food. We are choosing heat or medicine and calling that a mood. They told us help was coming, then counted every dime. Now the poorest are poorer and they're running out of time. This is not a province problem when Canadians disappear. This is not a budget issue when people live in fear. Canada, can you hear us screaming? Canada, can you see us now? The impoverished are worse off now, and we need you to step in now. Canada, can you hear us screaming? Canada, this is your line. We are Canadian people, and it is time to act now. We filled out all the forms. We waited on the phone. We told them we were drowning. They said, try again alone. We followed every process. We gave them every name. But policy without protection is just harm with a frame. So don't tell us to be patient. Don't tell us to be still. You cannot